In today's video, we're going to look at this, how to work out this segment. So the first part of this question is quite straightforward. I just did it there. Only catch there is that to work out the volume, you have to make sure that the 1 meter you convert to 100 centimeters, but it's basically half a circle times the height. So that's straightforward. The part that I want to get to is they're saying the water is removed from this tank. So it used to be a full tank, and the level of the water is 6 centimeters below the top of the tank. And the diagram shows the cross section and calculate the volume of the water in the tank. So the radius we can see was 12 centimeters. So let's say if I had that distance there would be 12 centimeters. I can see that it's 6 centimeters below. Now this is I really like this question because just like that, you'll probably won't be able to work it out. You'll have to draw some lines for yourself to make this a little bit more, well, easier to understand. So basically, we're going to have to work out this sector, and we're going to, so let's do this. We'll do a sector, and we're going to minus or subtract the triangle, and then we would be left with the area of that little segment over there. Now we can't just work out the sector, we'll have to get that angle. So I'm going to redraw this triangle here. So that's my length of 6, and that length, I'm not really sure what that is yet. And then this is the radius of the circle because it's going from the center to the circumference. So that's going to be 12. And I want to work out this angle because if I have this angle, then I should be able to work out, well, just double it because those two triangles will be the same. And then I should be able to work out the triangle. So that angle, straightforward. If this is my reference angle, this is the opposite, that's adjacent, and that's hypotenuse. And I'll just do it in red here on the side. And I know it has to do with the, I'm going to use SOHCAHTOA. So basically I'm going to use the cosine of the angle is going to be 6 over 12, the adjacent over the hypotenuse. And you should actually know this, half cosine of 60 is going to be a half. But if you didn't know that, you could do it with your calculator. Cosine inverse of a half would be 60. Okay, so if you knew your exact values, you get there immediately. But yeah, anyway, so now I know this is 60 degrees. That is 60 degrees. And if I want to work out the sector, that's 60 plus 60, so that's going to be 120. So let's just write that down. So I have a 120 over 360 times, because I want area, it's going to be pi, and the radius is 12 pi r squared. So that is the area of this sector. And we're going to subtract the area of the triangle. Now there's two ways of working this out. Option A, let's say option A would have been saying half the length of the one side times the length of the other side, sine of the angle, 60 degrees. That's option A. And option B would just be Pythagoras, and then you would work out that length. You would go about and say, well, let's just make that x. So I'll say my x length there is going to be the square root of 12 squared minus 6 squared. And that would be 144 minus 36. And eventually that'll be 10.3923 if you work it out on your calculator. But that's not the end. This would give us the immediately area, but this one won't give us the area, but it is the base. So I could do minus half the base, which is the 10.3923 times the height, which is 6. But this is only one triangle, and I want both triangles. So I'll actually have to, well, let's maybe rewrite that a little bit. Just make that a minus, and it's going to be 2 times that whole thing. The 2 and the half, they kind of cancel each other out anyway. And if you pop all of this in your calculator, you'd get an answer like 88.4426. And then you have the area of that little segment over there. That's going to be square centimeters. And the length, they said, was 100 or 1 meter, so 100 centimeters, like we saw there, that 100 centimeters. So I would just multiply the 88.4426 by 100, and then I would get 8844.26, but because we want 3 significant figures, 8840 should be good enough for us, and the units is obviously cubic centimeters. So yeah, there you have it.